My name is Julie. I am a professional counselor in South Carolina, and that is my co-counselor, Eddie. Today at Orange Therapy on YouTube, we're going to be exploring the importance of having a language to describe our inner experience. Why is that important? Because it is. Sit back and let's learn about that. Take care. So last week we explored the importance of paying attention and monitoring ourselves for changes in how we are experiencing the world around us, being aware of our triggers. I also explored with you various tools that you can use to explore your inner world, to know more of what causes difficulty for you, to know your inner world a little bit better, to know yourself. We also explored some tools to help to self-soothe, to calm ourselves during those rough seas. But developing a sense of awareness really was what we were talking about last week, paying attention to how we were feeling. Do you have the language, though, to describe what it is you're feeling to yourself or others? As I said in my introduction, it can be really frustrating to try to communicate when we can't find the words. If we're talking about a TV show that we watched and we can't think of the name of it, it's just like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get it out. There's just this sense of, really, it is an overwhelming frustration when we don't have the language to express what it is we need to express. Brenè Brown wrote a book, and it's called Atlas of the Heart. And in her book, she states that most people only really know three emotions, or only reference three emotions on a regular basis. They either say they're happy, sad, or angry. And we know that there are many, many more emotions than that. And if I'm going to be able to understand myself and be able to respond appropriately, to be able to know what it is I'm feeling, and to be able to meet my needs, either myself or ask others or move to do something differently to have my needs met, then I need to have the language to know what it is I'm actually experiencing. If I don't have that language, I'm going to be really frustrated, and I can't really know what I need. So years ago, I was working in the front office of a counseling agency, and it was very busy. There were people lined up, the phones were ringing, I had faxes coming in, I'm getting paperwork together, and I was the only one on the front desk. And one of the counselors went walking past the window, and she says, "How you doing, Julie? You need anything?" I said, "I'm fine." But I really wasn't fine. And she kind of smiled this knowing smile and kept walking and came back and slipped me a paper. And it was a paper of emotions, just listed out. She said, "I'll be back in a minute." And she went walking past in the other direction. And I'm still, it was crazy. But there was a pause in the mayhem for a second, and I looked at the sheet, and she came back and she said, "How are you really doing today?" I said, "I am completely overwhelmed." She said, "Excellent. What can I do to help?" And I asked her if she could maybe help move the phones for a few minutes. And she did. She could have jumped in and just helped answering the phone, and some of you might be saying, why didn't she just jump in and help? It was far more worthwhile for me to learn to name what it was I was feeling, and to be able to recognize that I could ask for help in those moments. It was a great lesson, and one that I'll never forget. So over the coming weeks, we are going to explore the emotions that Brenè Brown explores in her book, Atlas of the Heart. I do encourage you to purchase it. You don't have to. I'm going to go chapter by chapter in the coming weeks to explore the emotions that she covers in her book, so that we can develop an emotional language that is greater than what we currently have. And some of you might have great emotional vocabularies, But if you don't have, then we need to develop that. And if we do have, then we can develop it further. Because in the human experience, if I don't know what I'm feeling, I can't figure out how to have my needs met. And sometimes if I can't put a name to it, then I'm going to go to automatic behaviors that aren't healthy for me. I might have a sensation in my body and I'm not really paying attention. Remember, I'm not on the lookout for what's going on inside of me. So I just feel off and I go and eat. You know, I shove the emotions down, or I drink, or I overwork, or I stay busy because I can't really name what it is and choose the appropriate things to make myself feel better. It's important if I'm going to be able to communicate to others, and even if I'm going to just understand for myself, because often I can meet my own needs. I might feel overwhelmed in a workplace, but be able to just take a breath, refocus, recalibrate myself using my resiliency tools, using my calming skills, and be able to just lean back into it myself just by taking a few deep breaths. But I might need to take a step away and understand exactly how something impacted me to be able to, once the situation has cooled down, if it's a difficulty between myself and another person, to be able to go and explain to them what I was feeling. So we're going to learn that language over the coming weeks. Again, I invite you to purchase the Brenè Brown book, Atlas of the Heart. You don't have to. Whether you have a huge emotional vocabulary or you describe your emotions in terms of happy, sad, or angry, I want you to know that you are welcome here at Orange Therapy on YouTube, exactly as you are.